James, also in New York. James, what's going on today?
Hey, how you guys doing today? How you doing today, Clint?
Good, man.
Hey, I wanted to ask Clint, since you're in the last spot, 17 points ahead of the cutoff for the playoffs, is there any added extra pressure or confidence going into Pocono this weekend for you?
Man, there's always pressure. It doesn't matter if you're leading the points, if you're fifth in points, or you're last in points, or you're on the bubble in the points. There's always pressure if you're getting into a NASCAR Cup car. I mean, it's as simple as that. Partners, organization, an army of people that build these cars at Stewart-Haas Racing, Ford, the manufacturer building these Mustangs and providing all this for us. Always pressure at this level. I enjoy it. I embrace that pressure. And I enjoy Pocono. And I enjoy the competition of being able. That's always been. Everybody always asks, why do you do this? Yeah. It's competition. Yeah. I love the relationship side of it. I really do enjoy, sponsorships on the side of that car. That's a relationship, man. That's, calling Rusty Rush. Hey, how's it going? How's business? What we got to do? What can I do better? I really do enjoy and embrace that side of it, which there is that side of being a Cup driver. Yeah. But there's nothing like the feeling of looking over on the starting grid going, I'm going to beat that boy. I don't know how I'm going to do it yet, but I'm going to beat him. Yeah. That, fire and that competitive.
That's the dream.
That's what you've done since you was a little kid. Yeah. And that's where the fun is.
And you still have that fire today.
Like, hell yes. Every single person that gets in a race car, there's too much work. Yeah. It's way too much work to go racing. I don't care if it's Lakeside Speedway at home or a dirt late model. My guys were there at the shop while I was there, working out this morning. I can't believe I just said that. But they were washing a hauler, getting a car, had the bodies tore off, had a motor pulled out, going to the engine shop, getting that engine rebuilt. You got to love it. Yeah. It's so much work, so much dedication to get to the racetrack, whether it's a weekly racing series or a Cup level. If you don't enjoy it, you won't be there long because it's way too much work.
James Picaretto, hashtag let me say this, wants to know from Eric, what were you surprised with the most from the Xfinity Series race at Kansas? Your teammates being involved in the incident with Christopher Bell in the case of Chase Briscoe, or Cole Custer's fight with Tyler Reddick? Which was a bigger surprise?
Well, I was not surprised by the fight. I think that's happened before when Cole was running trucks, right?
That's right.
So I was not surprised by that. But I was surprised Chase was doing a great job holding off Christopher Bell. And then he came up on that lap car, and he was going to wreck regardless. That lap car had no clue that he was coming, which is unfortunate. And he had to check up out of the throttle just a little bit to keep from running in the back of that zero. And Christopher got into his left rear there. So that was unfortunate.
You know what I'm most surprised about? That we continue to refer to this as a fight.
That was not a fight.
That is not a fight.
That was not a fight.
If you've ever been in a fight or to a fight, that was not a fight.
Amen. This was like a weird wrestling.
A lover's quarrel.
It's like what do you call that lock? Is that like a headlock? But for the record,
I don't know.
When the two nice guys from NASCAR security get in, everybody loves.
It's more of a scrum. It looks like rugby.
And if you watch, this guy just zoink, he pulls Cole out, and then everyone else is still fighting as if Cole's still on the bottom.
Cole's out.
He's like, well, guys, I'm going to go back to my bus, I guess. See you later.
See ya.
And my man, look, he never moved his helmet. The NASCAR official.
No, the NASCAR official never did.
Hey, guys. Hey, I'll see you on Crawfordville Road
at Applebee's. At Applebee's, people. Crawford Road. Remember?
Crawford.
Yeah, Crawford Road.
Sorry,
not
Crawford Road.
Sorry. Okay, next. Sorry.
It's all right. Crawford.
Digress.
Crawfordville.
Yeah.
Okay.
James in New York. James, what's going on today?
Hey, how you guys doing today?
Good. How are you?
Doing good. I wanted to ask Clint, do you think that Bristol will be the perfect race in the playoffs next year for you?
It's going to be in the playoffs next year. What do you think about that?
I think a track like Bristol, a short track like Bristol, is the perfect track for any format, for any situation, for any given weekend, Jack. I'm telling you, Bristol Motor Speedway, I wish we had 5 of them all across the country, because there's not a better venue that we go to than Bristol Motor Speedway.
You wish we had more short tracks, period?
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's not a knock. Look, my home's 1.5 mile track in Kansas, but if that was a half-mile track, I think it would be even better than the venue that we have right now. We're lacking some short tracks. Short tracks are what put this sport on the map. Once it got on the map and got as big as it did, they needed those big venues like a 1.5-mile track to put it all, encompass it all in one facility. You know, maybe that was a good thing for them, but I'd love to see some more short tracks across the country. And by the way, don't forget, there is a lot of good short tracks around the country. I just assume you go to one of them.
My track, my roots. There you go.
So
we'll talk about that always as we continue.
Can you imagine taking the Cup Series to one of them short tracks?
It'd be fun.
So cool.
It'd be a lot of fun.
Hashtag let me say this. And many questions for our guest tonight, David Hood, starting with James Picaretto, who, David, he wants to know, what was it like directing the Daytona 500 in 1998 when Dale Earnhardt won? When you direct a monumental race like that, and you're involved in it from an official capacity, what's that like for you?
Well, you take all the races as they are, that each one is important. But I think the significance of that race is that when he comes down pit road after winning it, and the respect that the competitor's shown, this is the man.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only way to say it. This is a hard bunch to earn respect from. But here is a guy that stuck with it through thick and thin, won the race, and then they had the opportunity that's just never there, really, to show him that respect. Yeah. That to me was exciting. The race, all races you get excited about, but that was the real pinnacle of that race.
That was a historic moment, a lighthearted moment.
James is our next caller. James, what's on your mind?
Hey, how you guys doing today?
Good, buddy.
Good.
All right. I wanted to ask Austin, with the 2 wins at Watkins Glen in Mid-Ohio, does that give you more confidence going into Road America as well as the playoffs for the Xfinity Series?
Yeah, no doubt. I think I touched on it earlier. The fact that we have playoff points in the bank, not only just from winning 1 race but 2 races, makes our playoffs a little easier, knowing that we can, have solid days and still be able to move forward. But I think it gives us momentum, but at the same time, there's different challenges between each racetrack. The challenges we had at Watkins Glen were, trying to outrun the 18, and then when the 18 was gone, I knew it was going to be me and AJ to the end of the race and figuring out, okay, what strategy can we do to try and flip things here. And then Mid-Ohio, we obviously have a dominant car, and we've got to play defense all day. So trying to understand what our strengths and weaknesses are at Road America and give it our best.
James Picaretto wants to know, of 7 Cup championships, which one was your all-time favorite?
I'll pick 2, 1 and 7.
1 and 7. Okay, 1 and 7. 2006, 2016.
Book in.
Yeah, all right, 10 years apart.
For all the reasons you can imagine.